For the CCMC APD and the OA waiver, which is children with critical medical, adults with physical disabilities, and older Alaskans waiver, there's a consumer assessment tool called CAT, and this is done also by DSDS, and they have nursing staff that actually go and do these assessments, and they look at the professional nursing services that the person has or may need, the special treatment and therapies, the cognition, any problem behavior, and physical functioning structural problems. So these tools are used to identify whether or not a person meets the level of care of being in a nursing home or institutional setting, basically. So Medicaid services, a menu of possibilities to think about. I think that you really want, when you're going, even when you're going on the wait list, you want to continue to think about what you want from the waiver. And agencies provide specific services. You don't need to get all services from any single agency. So getting, shopping around, getting information on the agencies, not simply from the agency perspective, but from other people that have used it. Use the services that the agencies have. You can get supported employment in one agency, and you can get day have in another. You don't have to stick to any one agency. So what you get with the waiver, we're going to go ahead and go through all of the things. Care coordination.
I have one question.
Sure.
On the last slide, when you talked about going through different agencies.
Yes.
So most of your caseworkers, though, it's a caseworker that helps you with the Medicaid waiver, correct? They work with an agency. They work for an agency.
In some cases, yes.
And so, but even though they work for that agency, they can still help you get services through other agencies.
Yeah,
I know
and it's driven by the family. I mean, the family really needs to say, we're not happy with the service that we have, whatever it may be, and we'd like to get that at home. So the care coordinator stays the same. They should be supportive of the services. That's what their job is. And we're seeing a lot more care coordination on an independent level. So they're not working for agencies. The state also has care coordination available. So they're starting to, see that if you're going to provide, you want to say that you're open to other agencies, and obviously there's oftentimes, that conflict between agencies, and we want all your business or whatever it is.
Right.
That's slowly becoming more and more of a non-issue.
Does the state, if there are independent care coordinators, does the state have a list that provides you with a list when you receive a waiver? Or when you're looking for a care coordinator?
I think
or how do you find out about it?
You could probably ask. I don't know if they provide you with a list. I doubt it, because there's so many other options.
Right.
Unless they provide a list, of all, and I don't suspect that's probably the case. The state does, however, certify and do the training for independent care coordinators as well. So so that's something I don't have the answer for, I think, and I can get it for you if you'd like.
So could a parent, just because after you just said that, I was like, could a parent become their child's care coordinator?
No.
No.
Conflict of interest.
That'd be a conflict of interest, I think.
Yeah, that's what I would say. I haven't, you know, and I just think it's too sticky. I don't think, I mean, I would say no, and I'll look into that as well, but, that's a tough one. I would say no, but I'll look into that as well. I've never been asked that question. Okay, so, care coordination is the only mandated service of the waiver. And you can change your care coordinator at any time. So you have a waiver, and care coordinators are really supposed to be getting you all of the services that you need that are available through the waiver. So if your care coordinator isn't working for you for any reason, you can change the care coordinator at any time. So if you have an independent care coordinator and you want to go to some agency that's a better care coordinator, or heard about someone else, it's up to you to determine who's doing the job the best. In-home supports, there's a wide range of services and supports that happen within the individual's home. So basically, in the case of in-home supports, there's an agency, whatever agency you choose, is going to provide you with a staff person who is going to be working from the plan of care, which is built by you and the care coordinator. And if in-home supports is one of the services that you have, you're going to have goals identified, whether it's you know, cooking or cleaning or working on you know, I mean, it could be one of anything, but it's really skill building within the home is where in-home supports comes in handy. And the hours, I mean, I've seen 20 hours a week on this. They can range with whatever, you know, it's based on what works for the family and what the need is. Okay, and family habilitation. This is full-time out-of-the-home care with a qualified adult or family. So basically, the person is living in a family home, and it's not in this is not an assisted living home, and it's not a foster home, it's literally a habilitative home.
So if a disabled person on a waiver was living with a family,
Mm-hmm.
and they needed to, the person with the disability needed to stay home and do their job, but the family was going to go on a vacation to Hawaii or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
this would provide someone, a full-time person to care for that individual and make sure that they got to their job and got on their transportation and stuff while the family was away.
Well, this is more of a permanent. This is more of like a permanent living situation. So family habilitation is really where a person lives with
like
another
a
family.
group home, or
It's a separate category than a group home, because group home is usually staffed and the people can't live alone. This is literally living with a family where Medicaid provides the family with a stipend and you know, and
So if
food
that-
and
Okay, so I
Yeah.
think like your question, if that family then decided to go on vacation, they would have to use that stipend that they received to make sure that that person staying at the home had services while they were gone.
right.
okay.
Right. So this is literally when somebody else is an individual is living in a home with someone other than their own family. Okay. And here's what we talked about, the group home, for ages 18 and over, to improve self-help and social skills, live full-time in a licensed assisted living home. The state is who licenses the homes, and there are all kinds of assisted living homes. There's a lot of independent ones out there. There's ones that are run by agencies. So the group home itself, the idea behind it is really to work on self-help and social skills within the home. And that's generally, it's generally in our state, not a really high number of people. I've seen, I think the most that I've seen is 4 in any one home. So they try to keep the numbers low. And shared care, this is actually another living situation that sometimes works well, is where 2 families, one of which is usually the natural family, share in the responsibility of caring for an individual. So this is where the individual may live with their family Monday through Friday and then spend weekends with another family. It might be set half and half. You know, it's really based on the need of the individual and the families, you know, the way they work it out. But this is another option of a continuous living agreement. This isn't also for the purpose of, you know, like going on vacation. And residential supported living. This is where individuals get help with activities of daily living for adults who can't live alone and are full-time in a licensed assisted living home. So supported living, there's generally staff on duty 24/7, and again, there's you know, there could be 4 people living in the home, and the purpose of the staff is really to ensure the care of the individual and work on the activities of daily living with the person. Rehabilitation. Rehabilitation is a great service. I think this happens out of the home, can be recreational or otherwise, and basically the individual develops self-help and social skills out in the community. So this can be anything. For rehabilitation, there would be goals set as well. With the waiver and the plan of care, there's usually measurable goals set so that you can see how things are moving along. And you know, rehabilitation is usually pretty open. You know, and if it's simply a so-and-so will socialize with others 3 times a week, you know, your day-head person could take them to the library, they could take them to do pretty much anything that the individual wants to do. So again, the staff that are provided in all of these cases are with an agency.